Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to be looking at 100 wishing well fruit. Now if you guys saw my last video, I was extremely sick, and it's been a week since then. I'm still feeling congested, so my voice is still a little bit different from normal, but we're on the final stretch. Hopefully I get better in the next couple days, especially to grind out that double experience weekend coming up. But anywho, as for the actual loot video, you get these wishing well fruit from the wishing well bush. There's currently 5 bush patches, and you can see me planting on all 5 of them. I'm not going to go into detail of my run because it's all over the place, and it's very simple. Anyway, the wishing well bushes do require 96 farming for you to be able to grow them, so it is a very, very high requirement. Additionally, they take as much time to grow as a barberry would. So yeah, they take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to grow on average, and they give around 2,500 experience. And another thing you need to know is the seeds cost 1 GP, so they're extremely easy to get. And it's optional to pay for them. You don't have to pay the 15 wild blood hops to protect them. I just protected them every single time just so that I could just do 20 easy runs of 5 plants and know that I did all 100. Just for the convenience of the video, I wouldn't recommend protecting them considering they're 1 GP, and all the hops for the 100 cost around 500k, so don't throw that 500k down the drain if you're planning on doing that. So the whole gimmick of these wishing well bushes is that you have a chance of making money or losing money. It's a gamble, and that comes from the fact you have to pay a fee every time you collect a fruit based on your total level. There's a calculator for this on the Runescape Wikia. Basically, you're going to be paying more per fruit the higher your total level, but it also makes it so you have better loot. And also another side note, this total level thing does not include virtual levels. It's only your base total level. But yeah, I'm max total level, except I have 119 invention still, and each of my fruits were roughly 710k. So that means I did spend 71 mil plus 500k from the protection for all of these fruits, and that might seem like a huge gamble, but each fruit gives you a ton of loot, so there is a fair amount of chance that I could either go a little bit above or a little bit below. We'll have to see, but as with all gambling things, you have to expect that you're going to lose money in the long term. And there's a bunch of analysis on how much you're expected to make with using data and stuff on the RuneScape Wikia. According to their tests, you're going to expect about 98% return on what you put in, so pretty much you're going to lose around 2% of your money on average. And considering these plants really don't give that much experience, it's not something you should pay for the experience. It's more so for the fun of hoping you can make a lot of money. But you never know. I am very lucky in this game, so I could very well make some money on this video. We'll just have to see. So if you're wondering how much time this video took, each run is like 4 or 5 minutes maximum, like if I'm going super slowly. Plus I'm doing these during my other farm runs, so it's kind of a clusterfuck. But if I had to give you like a strict value of how much time it took, I would say the farming process of the 100 would be about an hour and a half over the time span of 20 runs. And then, writing down all the loot and all that kind of shit was about 30 minutes. Because, every inventory that you get is tons of items, and I had to write it all down to make sure I was getting the final amount correct. I would say the most tedious part of this video was writing down everything in a notepad, because, that's 20 inventories. They're all extremely large numbers, and you have like 20 items. It's a lot of bookkeeping, I would say. But that's the whole fun thing about loot videos, not going to complain. So with that, I would say this video took around 2 hours to complete. So it wasn't, anything drastic. But with all that said, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Let's look at what I made or lost with these gambling fruits. Let's go. Alright, here we are with the first inventory, and most of these items are like really lame items. I wanted to do the first inventory being a lot of the shitty loot, so that the second inventory would be all the good loot with all the huge amount of numbers. But it turns out I can't fit all of those good ones in the second inventory, so what I'm going to do is pretty much everything above the runes and the seeds are shit. These are like the obscure items that you get in very low amounts, so it doesn't really add up to much. But the last 5 items are pretty good. Like, as you can see, 9,000 water runes, a couple thousand fire runes. These are papaya tree seeds, maples, and magics. Magics are pretty good, 84k. Not as much as they used to be, but definitely a good one. And I believe that was in one wishing well, if I remember correctly. That was pretty sick. So I think that's pretty much it for this inventory. Let's see how much it comes out to. And it looks like it's about 3.5 mil. Granted, it's probably not going to sell that way because you guys got to know, it's Thursday right now. Double Experience Weekend is tomorrow, so there isn't going to be a lot of activity in the GE right now, because as much as usual, because a lot of people have already bought their items, and if anything, Double Experience Weekend really fucks up the trading. Like, everything gets fucked up. Some items sell for incredibly high that you might not even expect, and then others, even though you might think they would sell for a lot, they don't. So it might be a little bit different in the final price check, but I guess we'll see. But holy shit, I just sold my seeds, and that was 3 mil, and the inventory was 3.5. Oh my god, that just shows how bad this inventory actually is. But I'm going to quickly sell this, and I'll be back with the much, much more beautiful one. Okay, here we are with the second inventory, and I actually sold the first one for about 100k less, or something like that, than it said in the price check, but that's to be expected. Now, as for the real money, first things first, this item might confuse you. Yes, the Wishing Well actually can give a bunch of its seeds. I'm not sure why it gives so many, because no one's ever going to farm that many, but I guess it's cool for collections. And fun fact, I actually had a seed collection as well as vials. I didn't have Wishing Well bush seeds, but they were also 1 JP. I was doing barberries. Well, actually, I think I did have some Wishing Wells. It just wasn't as many as the barberries. I had so many, it was pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure they just drop a bunch just for collecting purposes, honestly. But it is kind of funny that I got 1 million. And that was from one fruit. So I did profit off that fruit a lot, because you know, that's already 1 mil, and I think on the forums, if you have a big amount of these, you can sell them for even more, because it's, you know, collectible. For this amount, I'm probably just gonna convert that to GP price. I'll sell it at a later time. Another thing to mention before we do sell this, as you can see, I did get 1 Triskelion fragment. It is possible to get Triskelion keys here, and it's extremely rare. I think the Wikia says it's like a 0.6 chance of getting one. So yeah, that's really fucking rare, and I'm happy I got one at least. Oh, and one more thing before I go and sell this stuff. Because you get a ton of like resources, such as, you know, ores, fish, bars, all that kind of stuff, this is actually a pretty good way of getting materials for Iron Men. The only problem though is that it does require a ton of cash, as you guys saw. You have to pay large amounts of money to get possibly large amounts of resources, but if you do have a ton of cash on an Iron Man from, you know, Elking or something, it could be a good way of spending it if you're in dire need of resources. I'm not too sure how effective Wishing Wells are for Iron Men currently, because they do require 96 farming, as I said, so not many Iron Men can even farm them anyway, but if you do find yourself in that situation, these are plants that you could consider. But yeah, enough of that. Let's just go sell everything. You guys get to see how much I lose or make. Gotta keep positive. Oh no. Okay. As you can see, we're at 64.13 mil. That is not close to 71 mil. Not as close as I would like, at least. But I guess I do have 1 million of these Wishing Well seeds, but I think I can get a little bit more on the forum, so I'm going to hold on to them. Let's just say our final price check is 65.2 mil. That would account for these seeds. So yeah, 65.2 mil in the 100 Wishing Well fruits, and as I said earlier, I did spend 71.5. So what does that mean? It means I get to cry. If my math doesn't fail me, that is 6.3 mil in the red, which is pretty bad. Pretty bad. So yeah, moral of the story, don't farm these things for money, obviously. I mean, I came into this expecting to lose money, but I didn't expect to lose 10%. I mean, come on, I lost 10%, guys. And on the Wikia, you're supposed to, you know, in the long term, lose 2% on average. So I definitely got really bad in this video. But it's fine, it's only 7 mil. I'm just trying to express a point here. Don't farm these guys. That was a weird phrase. Don't farm these seeds is what I meant to say. They're not worth it. The farming experience is god-awful. I would rather just do barberries. I say god-awful because they're pretty much the same as barberries, but barberries give you agility experience as well, They cost the same. They're both 1 GP each, but you don't have to pay the 700k to get the experience. Granted, I guess you could just, you know, check health on the Wishing Wells and then just clear them, if that's possible, and then just repeat. But it's only a couple hundred more experience. It's not that big of a deal, and you're missing out on the agility experience at that point. And besides that voice crack, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and none of you go and try to do this, unless you feel lucky and you do maybe 1 or 2 runs. You might make profit, because as I said, I did make some money on some of the runs, and then I lost a ton on others, because if I remember correctly, I think there was 1 run that I made like 1 point something mil, and then the very next run I lost 2. So it's very variable, and the odds are stacked against you. Just don't do it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.